Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Firstly, congratulations for clearing IPMAT. This is Swarnal, you know me, and this is
Sudarshan.
he is my batchmate. I want to talk about the IPMAT interview first. Especially the IPMAT interview, it's divided into three parts. Firstly, it is HR questions. Second is the academic questions, and third, they usually ask about general awareness. The most important part is academic questions, and that will be covered by Sudarshan. Let me start with HR questions. In HR questions, those are human resource questions, and you must be familiar with them. They are like introduce yourself or tell us about your short term and long term goals. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Your strengths and weaknesses. Any particular incident where you failed to do something, or what are your hobbies? What do you do in your free time? What is your second career option? And if you're a science student, they may ask you why not engineering or medical? Why did you choose IPM? Or if you are a commerce student, they may ask you why are you not doing a BBA and then pursuing MBA from some other college. So be prepared for such questions and Google the rest, because you will find ton of questions. You don't have to prepare all of them. These questions are essentially about yourself. You just have to analyze yourself and just answer whatever comes to your mind. Just be prepared to answer these questions, right? Especially the strengths and weaknesses that you will have to prepare, because you cannot think of them on the spot. So some pointers: while you are telling your strengths, tell some strengths that are relevant to MBA or IPM or even the corporate world. Like let's say you are going to say that maybe your strength is time management. So time management is really important in IPM because the course is really rigorous, and even when you go into in corporate life, you will have many deadlines to cope up with. So for that, time management is really important. So try to connect these two dots while telling your strength, and also tell some incident from your life if you can, if time permits you. So then it will also your strength will become more credible. While telling a weakness, try to sugarcoat things, right?
Yeah.
So sugarcoating things means, like, let's say that you are a little lazy. So don't say that you have a tendency to procrastinate or you are lazy. Say that you are relaxed. So this just makes the weakness a little less negative, which really helps. And whenever you are telling a weakness, don't just tell your weakness. With weakness, also tell how you are trying to improve upon it. Or they will also ask you about some incident regarding to weakness. So also keep in mind some incident that was related to the particular weakness. Also, when I mean sugarcoat things, don't overdo it. Like, don't try to portray your strength as a weakness. I've heard some people doing that. Some people saying that they are a perfectionist. So they will say that I'm such a perfectionist, I like to do everything in order, and when something doesn't go according to my way, I get a little irritated and all. Like, please don't do that, because even the interviewer knows that you are just trying to make your way through. So that does not work. Moving on to academic questions, those will be taken by.
If we talk about academic questions, like these are the most important questions of an IPMAT interview, and we both have faced this, so we know actually what happens. So actually they want to check your knowledge and how hardworking you are at that level also, and what have you just learned in your 11th, 12th, and also if you are a college dropout, so in college too. So for science students, they will ask you about they will ask from NCRT very basic questions, and if they go a little advanced, they will ask at JE level. So you need to have a handy of knowledge for answering these questions. And if we talk about commerce section, so you need to have a basic understanding of business, economics, and accountancy, because and most importantly economics, because we have so many courses on economics here. So they will ask you economics question eventually. If you're seeing business studies as your favorite subject, still they will ask you economics question, because we have so many subjects on economics. And they may ask you about your favorite subject, but you need to tell them not the favorite subject actually, but you have to tell them what you are good at. So they actually want to gauge knowledge in very deep knowledge of that subject. So yeah, it's pretty much about these academic questions, and we can talk more on these in the coming videos. So moving on to GK questions. Now Swarnil will take care of GK questions.
So general awareness is not only about current affairs. Know that, like, they will ask you current affairs, like recently the president of India was announced, so they will ask you about president of India, or they will ask you about Kohli or stock markets, anything like that. But general awareness is not only current affairs, please know that. It is also awareness in general. Like when I was giving my interview, I live near Nashik, so they told me that, do you know about Trimbakeshwar? In Trimbakeshwar there is one of the Jyotirlings. So they asked me, do you know what Jyotirlings are? I also come from Maharashtra, so they asked me that you must know about Ashtavinayak, because usually people in Maharashtra, they are very religious, so they will ask you that, do you know Ashtavinayak? They also asked me that which river originates from Nashik, and things like that, like normal questions, and where the river flows, what is the name of the river? So I said that Godavari was the river. So where does it flow? Does it go into Arabian Sea or West Bay of Bengal? So these are the questions. They may even ask you that in your district how many talukas are there, sub districts basically. So that is also one of the questions that they may ask. Or they may ask you what are, like, India shares its borders with which other nations, or your state shares borders with which other states. So these are the normal questions. Be prepared for them, and also try to do the latest current affairs, as I said. And this is all about IPMAT interview. Just some more pointers. If you don't know some question, just say you don't know. Don't try to guess. And if you think that you know the question, you know the answer to the particular question, then just say that. Like, if you want to guess, say something like, I don't know the answer, but I can make an educated guess. Or if you, like, let's say that it is a reasoning question, so even if you don't know that question, just say that you will make an educated guess, and while giving the answer, try to give the logical process behind it. What was the theorem you applied, or what was the what basically process was that to obtain the answer. Also remember that the interview goes in the direction that you want it to go. You guide where the interview will go, right? So let's say that like when I was giving my interview, in my introduction I said that I loved running. So the first question that he asked when I was giving my interview, it was the Olympics time. So the first question he asked me was, which Olympic player is not playing this year? So I said Mo Farah, but he said no, it is a sprinter. So keep that in mind, that even if I don't like to sprint, I like to go on long runs. It does not necessarily mean that they will just ask me questions related to that. They may go a step further to ask you questions more than that. So yeah, keep that in mind. And lastly, for every answer that you give, first take 2 seconds to answer. Like, even if they ask questions, take 2 seconds, take your time, and then start answering. Like, this will help you when you don't know a particular answer to a question. So let's say you don't know some answer, you can take your time, and since you're waiting for 2 seconds for every other question, they know that you do this. So it won't get awkward, or you won't freak out that I didn't get time to think, I didn't get time. And even the interviewer, like for IPMAT, especially IPMAT, they'll also know that the students who are coming for IPMAT examination, they are at max 19 to 20 years. So their expectations are not that high as they would want from some graduate, or let's say whoever is coming from CAT level, or somebody who's coming for FPM. So keeping those expectations in mind, don't worry, the interviews are very easy. And lastly, we have a good news. Sudarshan will tell that to you.
So Swarnil and I were planning to actually take your interviews on first come first serve basis. So we'll be like floating forms to apply for. You can apply for mock interviews, and I and Swarnil will take interviews. He will take care of science, and I will take care of commerce. So yeah.
We also have a batchmate who is from humanities background, so even humanities interviews will be taken. Just check the description link, and I will also pin it in the comment, the Google form. And all the best. Let's hope you make it. I'm so excited to see you all.